favorite rappers time, your favorite movie stars time, your favorites time. Let's get into this. Now, before I retrieve the information necessary dealing with the case, as everyone is patiently waiting for, I will make sure that I attempt to put that out on the live as well as possible. Now, again, because the case is ongoing, there's certain things that can't be said a certain way, so I have to study over what's there and look at a probable way that I'm going to speak on it without violating that typical perspective and that typical ongoing appearance of how that works. Now, one thing I want to say is I have perceived so if you're here under a different username, I may be wrong because I'm not a psychic with it. I'm not perfect with it. I'm not able to get into that realm of doing it, but from different responses and things, I can almost pick apart who's who. I welcome you all to Commenter Nation. You're a part of it too. Even if you hate me, you're a part of it. I'm not going to call out your usernames. I don't do that. But thank you for coming here. Thank you for rocking with me. Hopefully you get past that other petty stuff and you make contact. You actually speak to me. You actually do something that is beyond the hatred that we give to each other every other day or whatever day, or the criticism, because I want you guys to understand sometimes I do certain topics to see reactions. And when I get reactions, sometimes it's what I expected, sometimes it's not. But all in all, it's something that I really do enjoy. And I'm glad that we have that type of relationship where I can try and garner some type of reaction out of someone in order to get a deeper vision of who it is and what they're doing. I've addressed many different topics. Now, let me put it this way. If I said I had something, I wasn't joking about it. So when I said I had a video of someone doing stuff or this and stuff, that's the one thing I could be honest and say I was not joking about. I actually did and do. But, on otherwise, I'm looking for us to have built a fresher relationship as far as communication. You don't have to love someone. It's about business and getting things done. Also, I wanted to reach out and say, depending on how the statement of this case goes, would this change anyone's perspective or overall desire to see how things unfold? Yay or nay? Will this change something about your perspective on the suspects or your perspective on people that we've come to know and love around the situation? Would you treat them differently if you knew something different came out? Would you behave differently in the presence of people because something came out a certain way? These are very important because whether you realize it or not, if you're using this image to try and control and figure out how to treat someone or how to do something, it will change their perspective in the public. See, that's the thing. People don't realize that if things came out a certain way, for instance, and information that was given out prior to or earlier was then said that it wasn't important. So if I said someone was someone, but then I doubled back and said, nah, I lied, or I have information to show that that's not true, how would you react as public? Would you blame them for rushing it in the news, or would you accept the fact that someone did digging and actually found out something was wrong? Same thing with me up here doing this. Do you hate me because I talk about it, or do you hate what I'm saying? See, there's a difference, and that's what's very important to know. There's a very clear difference, and it's very important that people understand these differences, but I get people don't understand it sometimes. I get that there's a problem of people's comprehension on exactly what it is I do. And that's the thing. That's why I love doing what I do, because ultimately everybody wants you to be a carbon copy of them, and I've never been no one's carbon copy, ever. And that's the thing. That's what makes us one of the greatest nations since United Nations, because we're all different and we all do different things. We all have different dreams, perspectives. We've all come from different backgrounds. That's the difference between us and a lot of others, because we found a way to unite what it is that we are. We found an understanding, and synonymously, we found it through looking for the justice that is due to someone such as X. That's what's most important. We found a way around what it is that they created. You know how people try and create an atmosphere and force you to react within it? Well, we've stepped outside the boundary and became something else. That's very important. We became a whole new entity altogether without anything given up or any type of slacking of the mind or nothing crazy to become who we are. And that's something I can get into, but again, I want to see if certain people made certain choices throughout a certain time, and I'm gonna just leave that at that. But considering the information you've received altogether, are you going to tell me that we're seeing things occur the way it occurs and nothing's funny? The way the suspects, understand this, suspects are fighting tooth and nail right now. Are you telling me that everything's cool? That nothing was funny? Have you ever seen suspects fight like this? Want experts, want statements, I've never seen this in the history. I mean, even people that said not guilty, they allowed their lawyer to fight, but you got suspects standing, giving their own testament to the stance of what it is that they have or have not done. This is a huge difference. Again, this case makes a world of change in what we know to be the environment of law. And I get some of you don't realize that. And I get some of you aren't going to see it till it's done. But that's why I speak it how I spoke it, because they know I'm the only one that has done it like this. They know that I'm the only one that has pushed the boundaries, you know? Even the mixed emotions, you know, where in my city, it's mixed emotions. There's people that rock with it, that love it, that, you know, I see them smiling and stuff. And there's other people that, you know, they frown at things. But either way, I take every reaction with a grain of salt. Always have. It doesn't sway me, doesn't move me. Because the same emotions wasn't moving me or swaying me when I was at my worst versus being at my best. You take everything in and you use it as energy to perceive the insight of becoming greater. There's a mentality and there's a madness to the movement. Honestly. It's a madness to the movement. That's the thing. But in the movement, we find clarity because, it's a method to the madness. But in the movement, we find clarity because ultimately it's about doing this from the heart. When you do what you do from the heart, people see it. People respect it. They understand it. And as you hear the birds returning, winter's over, it's time to put work in. And that's to everyone. I have a vision of working with a small knit team to do different things with me. Information will eventually, I know that other channel that you guys are subscribing to, I plan to turn that into a venture/gaming channel. If I'm going to do investigations, that's what I'm doing. But I'm also going to have a gaming channel because that's one of my passions. And, you know, I have everything I need to date to do it. So I'm just excited about that and producing that and pushing that forward. But we're still focused on what matters, and it's about justice. That's why I didn't let up how I did. I got special contact around the side. I got particular things said to me. It didn't shake me or sway me. You know, I said it a certain way, and some of them I identified, but I don't want to press it yet because I have a particular time I want to press it because of what I want to get done. So if that makes any sense. Anyways, my thing is, it's all about putting in hard work and networking. The two key factors. Ones that X did like no other. Fact. Nobody else. That's why he was so above. He networked and he worked hard. He used them synonymously. And I'm not just talking about talking to fans. I'm not just talking about walking into company buildings. I'm talking about helping others less fortunate. That was the trifecta. And everybody's doing the other two, however they call it. I haven't seen anyone step out and just make a stance in a company to help others. That's the difference. That's your last piece of advice. Because you don't do that, you don't receive in multitudes. That's why. That's why you're stuck, because you're like, I'm networking, working hard, working with fans, but you're not working with those who will never get a chance to even stand as a fan. That's where you lose. There you go. You know how I rock. What would be your thoughts with the statements and different things if there was some type of change or some type of new perspective made about a person that would really shake the foundation of the case as we know it? All rights reserved.